Dear audience, with the encouragement of friends and Mrs. Doe's consent, Yingxin Media recorded Mrs. Doe's story once more under the same title. It may be the last time. After 6 chemo treatments, the doctors have decided to stop because Jenny can no longer handle them. If the treatment continues, she may die not because of her cancer, but of the chemotherapy. Jenny's cancer is still there, metastasizing to her bones, lungs, liver, and lymph nodes. The doctors are currently trying to find other alternative drugs, but the result doesn't seem to be very promising. Jenny has shared with us that relatives, friends, and people from around the world have sent her hundreds of different cancer treatments, from papaya leaves, herbs, seaweeds, to prayers leading to supernatural beings. At this point, nothing seemed to work. Jenny has to use painkiller, for the pain cuts through her bone. Although her mind is still strong, but the pain at night often puts her through panic, fear, and despair. It would be difficult to say that Jenny is not afraid of dying. During daytime, she's still alert and still tries to do many of the things she wants to accomplish because she knows that her time is getting shorter and shorter. Actually, she no longer can do the things she has been doing for years, from taking care of the orphans in Hue, fighting with the human traffickers to save those who were sold to brothels in Cambodia or Thailand, organizing the annual Ao Dai festival, and a dream to start a community center for the Vietnamese American. Jenny no longer has strength to continue any of these projects. She can only use the last of her strength, bearing the tragic image of a brave lady at the last stage of cancer, to call for successors, to continue the work she has been doing, is still working on, and would like to continue. She hopes that this sincere call will yield great result, for Jenny knows that there are people out there who love her and who believe that these are the right things to do. This documentation has been done and shared with you because we believe that Jenny's work is beneficial for the community, and her calls for the projects to be continued are legitimate. Everyone has to die once, but not everyone can face death courageously, and few people would allow what they go through to be shared with the public the way Jenny is doing. We do hope that viewers will find true meaning in Jenny's sincere message. This is attorney Jenny Doe herself, and this interview was recorded at the Vietnamese Boat People Museum in San Jose on December 4th, 2015. Please now watch with us this special program.
I would like to say hello to everyone. I'm very touched that I have this opportunity to speak to the next generation. Who am I? I'm Jenny Doe, a Vietnamese Amerasian who came to this country in 1984. Twice, people came and asked to buy me from my mother. twice people negotiate my existence and transform me to a different place. Why? The reason is because there's all kinds of connotation and belief and assumptions about Amerasians. Amerasians are children who fathered by American soldiers. We can define briefly, and mothered by the Vietnamese mothers. I'm one of them. And during the fall of Saigon, I could not escape, and as a result, I stayed behind for 9 years. And in those 9 years, I learned so much. It's the life was at the bottom of the heap, and I was at the bottom. You cannot be any worse than that. You don't know what a decent meal tastes like. You went on for years without any nutrition. But the only thing that kept me alive in the dark, without water, electricity, I had to stay up many nights just to gather water, because at night the water actually come through the faucets. During the daytime, there's no electricity, and as a result, there's no water. Why water is so important? During that time, those 9 years, is the search for water, is the search for life, the search for humanity, the search for knowledge, which I did not have. During those years that is so dark, so much of suffering, to the point that I felt there were moments I was not human, because there's certain kind of names that people gave me when I was small. It was very nasty. Discrimination was high. However, at the same time of all this darkness that I faced, there's humanity, there's beauty around me. There are people who care so much that help me to survive. And there are those who couldn't have anything to give, and what they gave me was their story, their aspiration, their dreams, and I lived through their dreams. They're poor like me, and yet they helped me. So when I came to this country, which was a result of a miracle in a way, because people like me who had no money, no assets, nothing, no connection, how can possibly I travel to America without paying a dime? Because there's people over here on this side of the ocean who also care for children that they left behind. They advocate to bring me home. Through all this, why does it matter? Why does it make a big difference for me? It's because I got a chance to see the darkness of life, and it's so dark. It's full of violence and poverty, and the poverty is ugly. But I came to this country. There's so much abundance surround us, and yet I see our youth, I see our people, we struggle, and we don't make our name, I believe that we have not made our mark in a way that it should be in this country, because the opportunity is so abundant, and we don't work together to build something that is strong for the community for years to come, because of all the fragmented among people. You know, the folks don't really get along. What I'm asking you today, this videotape, is that time is running out for me. I discover life, I discover beauty, I discover pain when I was growing up, and pain now for people, those who I'm going to leave behind, and pain for those that I have not been able to help. You folks who listening to this tape, I assume that life is still ahead of you, and I assume you're not facing with any death sentence like I do. We have taped many times in Vietnamese, and I share my stories with folks in Vietnamese. Today, I like to speak in English so that I can give you a glimpse of what my message to you should be. In 2007, I was declared as a Woman of the Year for California. But at the same time, it was announced that I had breast cancer, stage 2. I didn't care much that I was facing with cancer. Because for me, I felt that I was strong. I have belief that coming here for a reason, that I was with a mission to serve. And so if I'm ill, I will get better and I will be serving people again. However, medical science today doesn't sound very positive for me. My breast cancers now have been traveled to the lungs, both lungs, and I tell people that now I'm like a Christmas tree, a walking Christmas tree, because my lungs are full of little dots. It's not like a tumor that I can cure. Second, it's also traveled to my bones and possibly my liver. So because of all this, my time is running out. And I have received, I don't know, hundreds of recipes around the world, from Canada, from Australia, France, Germany, Vietnam, to tell me how to cure myself without, using herbal, using aloe vera, using cannabis oil, using papaya leaves, you name it. Everything is out there. And everybody believes they can cure me. Everybody believes that I will live. And I want to believe that too. But we need to be practical, because I don't think death is negative. We all have to go. But we have to go with dignity. And that's what I ask people, let me go with dignity. Do not try to get me hang on, but be a vegetable. In other words, there were recipes that say you can live on this and you will survive. And I say, but will I be able to function? Will I be able to serve? And people was like, So to you, I say, it's okay to go early. It's okay, as long as your life is meaningful. And my message to you, folks who were born here or who travel here, came here as an immigrant, life is still very beautiful in America and in many other parts of the world. When I receive letters from folks saying to me that, Jenny, I lost faith long ago. I don't believe in humanity. And I swear to you, this is not one letter. I've received many similar to this. And they say to me that they don't believe in goodness because people are not very nice. But that's not true. That's not true. Look at me. I am the testimony that beauty and kindness is everywhere, only if you invoke it. So now that I have many people around the world promise me that they will continue to carry on and to do goodness, like what I have done, like what they have already done and I didn't know it. My point here is that if you have money and you spend it on yourself, great, good for you. Would that make you happy for many years to come? I doubt it. What really brings joy and what really make it permanent and long-lasting is you care for others. That is magic. That, I'm not religious, but I believe that is when you do kindness, you are in the presence of God. When you do kindness, you are the agent of goodness. And we do need that in this world. And I know what I'm leaving behind is a lot of mess, in terms of the society. But you, good people, those who care, those who have hearts, there's still chance. And the chance is to build our image. The Vietnamese American who live, who risk everything, who face death, but worse than death. There are things worse than death. And those are humiliation, abuse, torture. They lost so much. But we found ourselves here. But what can we do so that to bring us to the next level? And not just merely refugees, not merely people who just seek for refuge. We are the people who build, who generate, who create, who have innovation. Bring that. The Vietnamese people, you are coming from those who are Vietnamese descent. I'm telling you, you are coming from a great history and ancestors. You owe it to your ancestors to thrive and to make good name. How? In every way in your daily life. Little things that you can do. You don't have to do like I did. Travel to Madagascar, travel to Asia to help others. There are people here that also need your help. Folks who live in poverty in this country is 10 times worse than in other country, in a third world country, because you face it and compare yourself every day. So I believe strongly that we do need to build a community center for the Vietnamese American elders and for the youth. Why does it matter? It doesn't matter, it's a hall. Why does it matter? It matters a lot. It's who we are. It's our identity. One of the things as an Amerasian, and everybody knows this, anyone who is Amerasian knows this, we are always in search for identity. And I faced that identity search when I was a young age, at 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, 13 years old. Who am I? Why do you keep saying me, go back where you come from? Where is that? I don't know where that is. But what I do know is I have a very beautiful history, full of blood, but also full of heroes and heroines. My son asked me, Mom, I fear of this, I fear of that. I said, son, there's no fear at all. You coming from a generation, from descendant, from family, relatives, ancestors that are warriors. We came from that history. We are warriors. And because of that, in this country, right now it is peaceful, but not really. Not really. There's a lot of conflicts underneath. How do we deal with conflicts? Build our identity strong, make our youth feel proud of who we are, feel proud of where they came from, feel proud that they can pass it on to the next generation, that Vietnamese Americans, we are survivors, we are builders, we are travelers, and we are peacemakers. I think that all of us have to pass through that threshold, and all of us will face with illness one way or the other. Embrace it instead of thinking in fighting and conquering. That is the wrong spirit. I think the spirit should be embrace it, find how we can have quality of life, extend that quality of life. When I faced with the reaction of chemo, which is very violent, my doctor asked me to be off of chemo and to see how we can find other suit. The reaction is really severe, and I am the one that I'm not afraid of pain. And I have even told my doctor when I was giving birth, I said, I don't need epidural, just give me natural birth. I can endure pain. But there were moments that it's so painful in terms of the pain in my bones. Anybody who knows about bone cancer, half of my bone is gone. And so it's very, very painful. I have one psychologist who happened to be my friend, who helped me to do the Human for Sale exhibition to fight against human trafficking. He literally traveled a long way to come to tell me, Jenny, I beg you, you must fight this. You have to survive. You can die from other sources, but not this one, because it's a very undignifying death. And here's what I say. There's nothing undignifying. Dying is dying. What we need to do is the moment of triumph, the moments that it comes. You just need to believe that you have the strength in you to endure anything. But the next thing is that your body, this is only temporary. The spirit is permanent. And I'm not talking about religious reason, but I'm talking about the fact that, you know, we are who we are, and we need to believe that our spirit will live on and not be afraid of it. Take it. The only thing I have to say is that I've been using cannabis oil, and cannabis oil really helped to cope with the pain. But yes, there were moments I have doubts, and there are moments that I have said, people, I know you love me. I've done my job. It's your turn now. Let me go. I need to go with dignity. And do not make me endure and doing things that so that I can have a longer life, but be at home doing nothing. That's not a life for me. It may be for many, not for me. For me, life defines at the moment where I can be productive. When I'm not productive anymore, and I'm not a retiree, meaning that you're old, so I'm not. I still think I'm very young. But at the same time, if it needs to go, we go. And be brave about it, and be peaceful about it. Whatever the path of religion you are in, embrace it, and do what we can though. You know, like all the wisdoms that others have gone through and they pass it on to us. Anything that helps, anything that you can do it. And like I do, I'm taking so many things, even though now I don't know which one that I'm allergic to. But at the same time, you know, don't say, oh, I'm failing. I'm not failing. I am just embracing nature in its own forms. My children from Hue, they've been crying, my family been crying, my friends been crying, everybody who comes to see me crying. And my message to you is that I think crying is good. It's good, it's a part of our natural emotion, and we should express it. And it's okay. I love crying. I feel good afterwards. But crying, it's okay to express your love for me and say goodbye to me. But I told everyone, my funeral should be full of colors. I would like no coffin, because I don't want to waste a tree, because I'm gonna be cremated anyway. So it's gonna be burned. So just burn me in a box. My family said they promised that they will just rent the coffin. So this way we don't waste money. Second, we should have a party at my funeral. My funeral, everybody, I request, you're not allowed to come to visit me if you're wearing black or white. Wear colors. Bring life and stop lamenting what we don't have. Celebrate what we do have, and we do have so much. We have so much. If you see the children that I see, then you know we have so much. One child in Madagascar left alone on the road so that the rats, the rodents, eat his face. They eat half of his face. And children are not being cared for. People have no food in many parts of the world. That for me is painful. That for me is not life. That for me is what we, those who have and those who make it, those who have fortune, it has a duty to take a look at that and see what can I do. Those children should not be eaten by rodents, but they are. In Vietnam, children are being sold for sex slave. And I told you, sex slave is bad, but the victims that I know, they are willing to become sex slave as long as they're being treated as human and not animals. So folks, we do have a lot. You are not sex victims. You are not refugees that being stranded out there in the desert with no food. You are not children laying on the gutter waiting for somebody to save. You're not none of that. You are in your comfort home. You have, I'm talking to those who well-to-do. I'm sure there are all those are suffering too, that also want to help. But what I'm telling to you that you must focus on others. People asking me, you have 90 days to live. Why are you running around? This morning, one of my friends called me and said, Jenny, we want to do this for you, that for you. And I said, no, I'm busy. I need to do this, I need to do that. I need to go to the meetings. And people say, you crazy, you have 90 days to live. You should worry for yourself. But people, you don't understand what I would like to, the last thing I say to you now today, and I'd like you to remember that. Remember this. This is the secret to success. And I believe my life was a successful life. Yeah, I don't have money, but I have love, and I have a lot of love. I have been attending my 3-4 times my own funerals because people celebrate me. Why? Because they need to see goodness in people. What I did was nothing. There are people who've done so much more than I did. But the fact is, we must invoke the kindness and goodness in people. And that's what I did. And so for you, for those folks out there, that's what you need to activate yourself as a peacemaker, as the one who brings joy and beauty to others. When you focus on others, you don't see your pain. You don't see, I forgot that I had 90 days to live because I don't focus on it. I keep focused on, did I have a vacation? I'm okay, right? Now can I go and do the other things? That's why I forget. And I think that's not because I'm brave, but it's just the approach is different. That's all. So folks who are facing with, challenges of health, facing with the lack of time, my recommendation to you is this. Cure yourself. Yes, you have to cure the illness. You have to do whatever to make you heal. But at the same time, be happy. Be happy. Find happiness. And every little thing that comes to you, there's a reason. Every mishap that happened to you is the opportunity to excel. If you understand that essence, you understand the essence of life. If you look at difficulties and mishap and unfortunate situations as something that against you, then suddenly it's too much to bear. But if you see, oh, this is just a challenge that I can train myself to be better, to overcome this. And when you do overcome it, oh my God, it's $1 million kind of feeling. So life is worth living, worth cherish and celebrate, but do it with others. Do it with loved ones or even with strangers. and you will see. I have dreams, I have many dreams, but what I have identified that, I cannot just ask for too many things. So I only listed 4. The first one is for the children of Friends of Hue Foundation in Hue, continue to thrive. Again, that's not a shelter that take in children to, that we just feed and shelter them. But these are children who face with challenges in life, serious challenges in life, and we take them in and we train them and turn them into leaders, those who are gonna help others. So I think it's that component, operation is very valuable to the society of Thừa Thiên Huế, and that is what I would like to see that coming. Keep going. The children, they make money themselves. They learn, they study computer, they learn, and they work and they earn their own money. So we don't need a lot, but we do need to supplement, and we do need to keep that going. Second is the operation in Madagascar. We've been operating a school over there. The children over there suffer 100 times than the children of Vietnam. They are not even humans. The way they being treated, it's just really a disgrace that why we are in existence and have folks live in that condition. So I would love for folks who go beyond our borders, go beyond our color of skin, and care for those who are not in our same background, same look and feel, and just give them hope. There's no Americans that I know of in Madagascar. Most folks are from Europe, and the need is just paramount. It's just so high. Anything you could do, $100, $50 you could do, you save so many kids. So please help me continue that journey. Thirdly, the Outside Festival is something that I created, and again, it's not a fashion show that to promote outside, but I believe the outside is what bring all of us together. Those who Vietnamese descent, we all identify. We always look at the outside as a symbol of dignity, of pride, of culture for us. So the Outside Festival is a multi-experience kind of event. A kind of event that tells a story. Each time we tell an ancient story. We bring an ancient story that plug it in and twist it to make it into something modern. And this year, 2016, is the story of Sơn Tinh Thủy Tinh, and we would love the Outside Festival to continue to be a tradition. And I have asked the city of San Jose to name a day. And I would like to ask May 15 that to be the outside day, meaning everybody should wear outside to work and to your daily life. This is how to keep the tradition growing and permanent, and it's beautiful. So it's not just the outside, but it's a confluence of all the Vietnamese art. Look at it. Music, we are not that great. Painting, we're not that great. Art, in many things, because our country is full of, facing war, so people only have to run. The only thing that they can remember is poetry, because it's in their head. That's why we're very rich in poetry. So Outside Festival will bring poetry, music, dance, performance, story, theater, and make it work. 2-hour, 3-hour shows, but it's the pride that will share, will echo so far around the country, not just in San Jose, because every state they keep telling me when Outside Festival will come to our state. I said, I'm sorry, it's only in California for now. So please make that as a tradition for the nation, and not just cities of San Jose, but everywhere there should be an outside day. So in San Jose, we would like to consider May 15th as the Asian Asian American Heritage Month, and also it's an outside day. And I encourage others from other communities in other states do the same. Create an outside festival tradition, just like the Japanese cherry blossom festival, or the Tet festival, or any other festival that we do. Lastly, the community center. And the outside festival and the community center can be one. It's a place where we come together. It's a place that is the elders can come to get services. It's a place that the young folks can come and have a wedding, can have a celebration. It's a place where there's a conflict that need to be resolved. We come there and we bring our elders there, just like the old days, and resolve our issues and hugs and pride and feel empowered. Those are only 4. Why the community center is such a big deal to me? Because I looked around and I see Japanese American, they have their own community center. Indian American, they have their own community center. Portuguese American, they have their own community center. And the list can go on. Everybody have it. We, Vietnamese American, we don't have it in Southern California. We tried for 40 years, didn't work. We tried here, didn't work either. Why? Because we are not together. I'm asking you to be together. So let's stick together and make this happen. For me, for you, and for our children, and for our new generation. Thank you. So everyone keep asking me, how are you, Jenny? How are you today? How are you doing? What can I tell you? It sucks. It's not good. It's not good to be on stage 4. It's not good to be in pain all the time. But I have the help from Cannabis Oil, which is the oil that extract from the marijuana plants. Lucky for me is that it's legal in California, and especially in San Jose. Medical marijuana has never received such a respect. But lucky for me, through connection, people explain to me, because I'm fascinated with science and I love science. So I study it in depth. And I found out that the cannabis oil, it takes the pain away, but it also kills cancer. There are many different strands of marijuana. This is not marijuana. This is the oil that is inside the plant, and they extract it out. It doesn't give you high, so you can function, but it takes away the pain. It takes away supposedly the nauseate from chemo, but in my case it didn't work. In my case, the nauseate was so much to the point that medication didn't help. I took medication from the doctor and I took cannabis oil. I'm still couldn't keep anything in my system. So how I am, not good. Spirits-wise, excellent. I don't have any problems. Spirits-wise, I know what I'm facing with, and because the love that people give me is so generous. You see this? How many people out there like me who have so many people who come and try to help? The reason is because I care for others, now others cares for me. So, you know, when you're faced with dying, and if you have people love you, oh my God, it's such a blessing. You need that. You don't get that automatically. You have to earn it, and I earn it. I earn it because I love people, and now people love me. That's simple as that. That's very basic. So I hope I answered your question. It's miserable. I am not doing good. I'm bleeding. I can't eat. I lost so much weight. I lost my memory. However, because I believe in goodness, and I believe that what I need to do to take away the pain so that I can be clear-minded, and I function in a way that I don't take medication in 2 hours in the morning, so that I have that 2 hours very solid, that my mind is very clear, that I can do legal work and as well as other work. And then when I take the medication, then I'm down again. So usually evening is no good. But my advice to others is that keep your spirit up by the fact that take away the pain, because pain can make you clouded. So make sure you control the pain. And Vicodins is not good. So far, cannabis help. Cannabis, the only problem is that it's expensive and it's hard to find. And thirdly, it does make you not be able to function at the end of the day. You know, like you kind of like down. But what the good thing is that in Berkeley, they have the compassion for cancer patients that they will help me to do it for free. So if I need to live on cannabis so that I can have a few hours of good functioning in a day, it's worth it. And if we go with cannabis oil, we can go in dignity.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.